Greetings, Divine Nation. I am Minerva, your Aquariana Gateway Guide. Thank you for joining me today for lesson number 10. If you are new to this channel and work and you are here for the Aquariana Gateway Lessons for best results, please first watch the videos in the channel playlist entitled About the Aquariana Gateway Lessons for more information. Then, when you're sure you're ready, begin with Course 1, Lesson 1, as this program is designed to be taken in order for best results. Now, let's get started. Today in Lesson 10, as we continue through the gateway of our spiritual department of life, we're going to talk about how irritability and intolerance, etc., impact our physical health. The cause for irritability, in a great many cases, lies in repression of the emotions, such as unsatisfactory sexual expression, or repressed or improperly discharged anger, and of course, anxiety and fear. We're going to talk about excitability, irritability, anger, impatience, and intolerance today. Keep in mind that peace and poise are positive. Excitability and irritability, etc., are negative because they distract and throw us off our center. If you have a tendency to become easily upset, know that poise is its opposite and learn how to cultivate peace and poise, which will balance your vibrations. You see, when we allow ourselves to be constantly irritated or peeved or pissed off, and it continues over a long period of time, we very definitely impress the subconscious mind with the idea of irritation. The subconscious, being duly impressed, will cause irritation in the tissues of the body, which result in diseases of an inflammatory nature, such as rheumatoid issues, sciatica, eczema, sore throats that aren't bacterially inflamed. Many skin irritations can result from feeling emotionally irritated. So we have to learn to say that people certainly have given me something to think about instead of so-and-so gives me a pain in the neck or makes me sore. Because if we say those things, we're allowing another to upset our mental balance and our physical well-being. You can pause the video right now and say those things yourself, the positive way or the negative way, and you might already be able to sense the difference between the two. Anger and our fits of temper upset our chemical balance, and if indulged in frequently, drains the body of energy. This is because of the adrenaline secretion that occurs from the adrenal glands when it's poured into the bloodstream each and every time we get angry, whether or not we indulge in a fit of temper. You can become easily exhausted by this adrenaline secretion, and there will be no reserve supply of it or the energy to produce more of it readily. Anger, especially repressed anger or improperly channeled anger, causes the heart to beat faster and is a leading cause of high blood pressure. The stomach can become tense and even stop digestion. Excitability, abnormal irritability, overstrain, and similar emotions and feelings will affect the heart and blood vessels. If constantly indulged, it will cause angina pectoris. Prolonged intense excitement of any kind will cause reaction throughout the entire nervous system, causing liver troubles through arresting the action of the bile ducts and gallbladder. Now let's talk about impatience. Impatience is negative. Patience is positive. In order to meet all conditions of life in the positive light vibrations, we have to have the inner poise. Impatience throws us all out of gear, and there can be no poise when impatience enters. If you are inclined to be impatient with people and conditions, You have to train yourself to immediately react to the positive way and lean over backward if necessary to feel and show patience. And you genuinely have to feel it, not just fake it. Start today and start at home, using patience with every person and condition you meet there. In time, as you do this, patience will become the normal state of mind for you, and you'll have checked out of the negative. You have to keep in mind that learning how to manage these emotional reactions takes practice. And the more you practice doing it, the easier it becomes. And after a while, it just becomes a subconscious habit that you don't even have to think about anymore. When you are confronted with extreme situations that would try the patience of Job, just keep getting quieter and quieter within, not allowing the situation to have any effect upon you that is upsetting or irritating. Call to your own I am within to harmonize the situation, and then watch the whole condition clear up. Intolerance is negative. Tolerance is positive. At best, intolerance is not a healthy state of mind, and is just another channel through which the negative forces can cause confusion in the ranks. Intolerance is caused in our consciousness when our ego becomes inflated and certain ideas become fixed in our mind, and we become inflated and intolerant of others' beliefs. We must never harden our hearts and stiffen our necks to the place where we refuse to examine new facts or to see the other fellow's point of view, whether or not they agree with our own concepts and beliefs and understandings. For us to attempt to control or live another person's life for them, to thrust our own ideas or ways of living upon another by force, is just not in the plan of the positive light vibrations. Try not to allow anything to get so stuck in your mind that your mind cannot be changed. Life is full of change. What is the truth today might not be so 5 years from now. When our mind is not pliable and becomes stiff, then we have the result in our physical bodies of stiff joints. When impatience and intolerance is uncontrolled, it will cause inflammatory ailments such as fevers and rashes, eczema, skin diseases, etc. Try to live by the motto, live and let live. Remember, you are not responsible for another person's soul development. You are responsible for your own and for trying your best to set a good example for others. That is all. Criticism is a very negative, destructive force generally used in pulling to pieces, tearing into shreds, belittling, or just putting down another person's actions, appearance, work, or character. Personally, I'm a Virgo sun, and criticism is part of my hard wiring. I like to think of it as a positive contribution on my part to society because I can see the flaw in any and everything. But what I've had to learn in my life is that just because I'm aware of a flaw or something that could use improvement or adjustment doesn't mean I need to share that with other people. And it also doesn't mean that I need to dwell on it and allow myself to get caught up in the flaw and not the bigger picture of the wonderfulness that is otherwise present. Remember, one of the main laws of the universe is, as you do unto others, it will be done unto you. Jesus said it as the golden rule, where he said, do unto others as you would have others do unto you, because the point he was making was that what you do is going to come back to you. I have found this to be very much true. in the area of criticism. The emotional power that we allow to flow through our criticisms can become a dangerous, destructive force in causing inharmony and confusion in the lives of others, and can be far-reaching in its effects. Very few people will ever criticize themselves. So why do we feel we can criticize someone else? Criticism is futile because it puts a person on the defensive and usually makes him strive to justify himself. Criticism is also dangerous in this respect because it wounds a person's precious pride. It hurts their sense of importance and arouses their resentment. Any fool can criticize, condemn, and complain, and most fools do, but it takes character and self-control to be understanding, tolerant, and forgiving. Instead of criticizing or condemning people, let's try to understand them. Let's try to figure out why they do what they do. That's a lot more profitable, and frankly, it's also more interesting and intriguing than criticism. And this also will help to breed understanding, tolerance, forgiveness, and kindness. Condemnation and criticism belong in the same family. Usually we criticize first and then condemn. We should never allow ourselves to condemn anything until we have studied and become familiar with it. The tendency is to condemn anything we do not understand. Even some of our so-called brilliant minds have a tendency to do this. We shouldn't condemn a thing or a person, even if we feel certain we have knowledge of facts supporting such a conclusion, for the reason that it gives the negative power energy to work on everyone involved. Those who indulge in the negative, destructive vibrations of criticism and condemnation will suffer from broken bones, bruises, other types of blunt trauma wounds, falls, and sometimes very serious accidents, which are not really accidents, but the operation of the divine law, which is infinite justice. Condemnation, fault-finding, and censure will generate acidity in the blood and fluids. If continued for years, this can cause rheumatic conditions, gout, sciatica, cancer, etc. Arthritis will develop, twisting and distorting the bones and sinews of the body in the same way as the condemnatory thoughts, feelings, and words have twisted or crippled another's efforts toward development by continual fault-finding and condemnation. Criticism and condemnation, along with the mental attitudes and feelings they cause, will blight the faculties of the mind and give growth to the soul that is retarded in its effect and is eventually seen in the distorted and twisted condition of the fault finder's own body and limbs. Carlyle said, "A great man shows his greatness by the way he treats little men." And Dr. Samuel Johnson said, and I am paraphrasing here to make it a more modernly applicable quote, "The divine itself does not propose to judge a person until the end of his or her days. Why should you and I?" And with that, we end this lesson. Thank you for joining me today. Check back next week for the next lesson, and remember to review this material throughout the coming week. It is so important to review the information. Come back every week for new lessons in metaphysics. If you have not already done so, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with those you believe could benefit from the Aquariana Gateway Lessons. Also, subscribe to the channel and set the bell alert so you don't miss any uploads if you haven't already. Your comments are really important to me, so please feel free to leave them below. If you find this information helpful and that it's making a beneficial difference in your life, please click on the donation link in the description box or go to the website metaphysicslessons.com and make a donation so I can continue to produce this content for worldwide distribution. It also helps to keep me focused on creating this type of content instead of having to worry about money. If you would like a reading or consultation with me, please visit the metaphysicsLessons.com website. Click on the Divination Studio menu link and select your interest from the drop-down menu. Just follow the directions from there, and after you make your purchase, we can schedule your phone consult or you can submit your email questions. I can help you with love, work, career, spiritual concerns, family problems or challenges, wellness issues, and so on. Please don't ask me for legal or medical advice, though. I won't give it to you. Sorry, can't do that. Blessings be upon you for your interest and attention. Wishing you love, light, peace, and prosperity. Minerva.